Hello, disc golfers. Welcome to episode 6 of Caddy Chat. I'm your host, Jacob Arvidsson, joined as always by Josh Wood. And we're excited to have you back for another week. And we've got a special guest this week. Special guest with a special announcement. So we're excited for that. Josh, what do we have on the show today?
It's extra special today.
Extra special.
That's right. Today we're gonna talk about the South Florida Open, which happened this weekend. We're going to talk about our disc of the month, and then we've got that special announcement. We'll get into some tourney talk again, talking about some promotion and marketing for our tournament, and I think that'll do it today. Oh, we might have a game too.
We do have a game if time permits.
We do have a game today.
We'll see how you do at the game, Josh.
Yeah, we'll see.
You guys will get to play along with the game too, so stay tuned for that. We'll finish off the episode with a game. All right, so first things first, the South Florida Open this week. Obviously, the name implies it was down in Florida.
It was probably South Florida,
where the weather is not under 30 degrees, so that's an improvement, and there's no snow on the ground. What happened at the South Florida Open, Josh?
Paul McBeth won.
What? Really?
He did. He was there. He won.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah, he was in the lead from round 1, 11 under.
That's a big win for him.
It's a big win. And then, second place was Garrett Gurthey, and Thomas Gilbert rounded out the podium. So, I mean, much of what you'd expect, I suppose. Andrew Fish, I think I would have liked to see him finish a little higher.
Yeah.
I hope there's some coverage. I know last year, in the last 2 or 3 years, there's been coverage, but I haven't seen any yet, so I don't know if it's going to be one of those.
Maybe it'll come out a little later.
But I'll be interested to watch that. But yeah, Paul stole the show.
Shocking.
Yeah, but he's not number 1 in the points so far for the year. Luke Sampson is. Paul's actually number 4 in points.
I don't think it's going to be a big problem for him going forward.
It shouldn't be, but at some point, Luke can say, in 2023, I was ahead of Paul McBeth in the points.
Yeah, that's big.
It's a legitimate
That's something to
claim.
Put on your resume.
Yeah, I would.
So, Luke Sampson, start building your resume now and put that on there.
Yeah, let's get it done.
All right, what happened in FPO, Josh?
FPO, it was Sarah Hokum that took it down. She had a 14 under, and then Jordan Linds right behind her, just 2 strokes back, and then Ellen Woodboom. So
it looked like all
both
3
the
of
Linds
them
were on there, right? Yeah.
Yeah, all
Tied
3 of them
for
shot
third.
well. Morgan Linds was tied, with Ellen Woodboom for third, and then Jessica Weiss also had a good showing, just finished rounding out the top 5.
Yeah, and just two back again. So
and then no one else was close to those 5.
No.
What was it? Next closest was 11 behind
11
Jessica
behind
Weiss.
it, 3 over, yeah.
So it was really a 5-horse race and
5-horse race.
5-horse race. No, but I'm sure those ladies had fun and a competitive weekend.
Yeah.
Despite the field not being super stacked or super deep.
Yeah, and being the difference between first and third was 4 strokes. That's pretty close.
Yeah,
that's a pretty close race.
So that makes out for a fun round, final round for sure.
Yeah.
All right, disc of the month. What did we have this week?
Yeah, disc of the month. This month we went with the Latitude 64 Compass, which is a nice mid-range. The numbers on that are 5501. So for me, generally, when I've thrown it in the past, it's a pretty straight disc, and I think of it kind of like one of my new Comets or a new Mako 3. But we went out and threw it against some other discs.
So what were your thoughts before we went out in the field and kind of tested this compass out? What were your guesses like? Because we threw it out, we went into the field throwing it up against a Truth, 2 Buzzes, a Comet, and a Buzz SS.
Yep.
So what were your thoughts going in? Like, how did you think it would compare?
I thought it would compare the most to the Comet, and maybe the Buzz SS. Again, like when I've thrown it in my backyard, it's a very straight disc. Throw it flat, throw it straight, it goes pretty straight. So I thought it was going to hold up pretty good with the Comet, which does a lot of the same stuff for me, and pretty similar numbers. I mean, the Comet's actually a -2-1, and the Compass is an 01, 5501. Mm-hmm. So, I actually didn't realize my Comet was that understable.
And your comment
That's my
is
arm
pretty beat in, so it's even more unstable.
Yeah, it's really not though.
But in theory, it should be.
In theory, it should be.
So my thoughts on the compass going in, I hadn't held the compass in my hand I'd held the compass in my hand, because we gave them out for league last year, but
That's right.
that's
where I got one of mine.
Exactly. So I hadn't, and that's why that one flew the best, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, for sure. But I hadn't actually thrown one in 3 or 4 years, so my memory of it was that it was very wide, like the diameter was very wide, and I just remember it being wider than a buzz. But then when we got to the field, and
were you thinking like Condor or something?
not that wide, that wasn't in my head,
wider
but
than a normal mid-range.
Yeah, I was thinking for some reason it was wider than a normal mid, and yeah, we got to the field. I stacked it on top of the buzz, and they were essentially identical.
Yeah.
So I was wrong on that one. But as far as flight goes, I thought it would be slightly more understable than the buzz. I expected kind of just a dead straight flight, without a ton of turnover and a slight fade at the end, and that's kind of what we got once we got out in the field. We kind of put them on gentle hyzers and pumped them out there, and yeah, you were pretty consistent.
They were all really consistent, yeah. So
we're pretty consistent.
I think in that regard, our experiment went pretty well. Putting them up against those discs seemed to work out well, because regardless of whether or not I threw them well, I threw them all exactly the same. I was pretty consistent. And yeah, they all landed, within 15 feet of each other? 15, 20 feet?
Yeah.
Most of them.
Yeah, and they were all, 15, 20 feet side to side, and they were all approximately 240, 250 feet away. Yeah. So, yeah, consistency across the board in all of the molds for the most part.
Yeah.
But the compasses all landed almost identical to each other.
They
so
did.
That's, it's a consistent disc. But did anything stand out to you after throwing? Did anything come to mind like, oh, this was new, this is something someone should know about the compass?
Well, it was more stable than I expected. Even putting it on hyzer, I expected that to go a lot straighter than it did. It faded out a little bit more than I expected. Not bad. It's not like one of my pigs, but it faded out more than I expected.
Yeah. So my thoughts were it was very, very similar. On my arm speed, it was very similar to the buzzes we were throwing, which was, they weren't brand new out of the box buzzes by any means. They were seasoned. Yours has been in your bag for how long?
6 months.
Okay. So it's gotten use. And yours was the Z-Glow Flex Buzz. So yeah. A little bit beefier.
Yeah, it's one of the best buzzes ever made.
To begin with. No, it's a great run. Absolutely. And then mine is probably 10.
It looked about 12 years old.
10, 12 years old at this point. Old beat up red Z Buzz. But it flew very similar to the compass.
Yeah.
Slightest turn when put on the slight hyzer, power grip out of my hand, rode straight and faded slightly at the end. So my comparison is compass is very similar to a beat up Z Buzz.
There you go.
Yeah, seasoned buzz, very similar to the.
So if you have a really seasoned buzz and you want a brand new disc and you don't feel like seasoning it.
Yep. Compass might be.
Go get a compass.
Compass might be the disc for you.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Get yours.
It doesn't fly like a Comet. The Comet is more understable. We confirmed that.
A little bit.
Also, we were throwing mostly backhand shots, but we did try it on the forehand.
Kind of.
Josh tried.
I tried poorly. But consistently.
Yes. It was still very consistent. What I noticed was I threw it on a slight hyzer the first time, and it turned over.
Yeah.
And then I threw it on a heavy hyzer the second time, and it flipped up to flat, turned, and then had the slightest fade at the end. So had a much different looking shot shape on the forehand to the backhand, but put on a heavily angled hyzer, it flew well, and it got out to 275-ish. So, I mean, it got out there.
Yeah.
It wasn't a bad flight by any means, but I don't think I would recommend it as a forehand disc.
Yeah, probably not. My forehands were little sky hyzers about 150 feet.
So compass backhand, that's our expert opinion.
Definitely throw backhand.
Definitely a good disc.
Yeah.
I have no qualms about that. All right, that's your disc of the month, the Latitude 64 compass. Go pick one up at your local shop. Next on the...
Now it's time for our special announcement.
Special announcement, special guest. We've been teasing it all week. We teased it at the end of the last episode. Vanessa Van Dyken is making her 2023 sponsorship announcement live here on Caddy Chat, and we are excited to have her on.
Yeah.
She's been with Innova a while back after she won AM Worlds. If you didn't know, Vanessa Van Dyken is a AM World champion. She then went over to Prodigy for several years, went over to Discraft in about, I think, 2018, 2019, somewhere in there. Same time Macbeth came over, roughly. And
did they know each other? Did they come together?
I would think that she was the reason Paul Macbeth came to Discraft.
Okay, I didn't know that.
Yeah, we'll see.
Fun facts with Jake.
That's unsourced. Maybe we can ask her. But yeah, so she's been with Discraft for a couple years, and her contract's up this year. And yeah, we're excited to bring her in via the Freshwood phone line, of course. Hey, Vanessa, welcome to the Caddy Chat with Jake and Josh. We are so excited to have you on the show.
Thank you so much for having me. I'm honored to be on your show.
So recap for us, if you would, your past couple of seasons. What were some of the highs, some of the lows? I know you've gone through a few injury struggles in those years.
Well, gosh, that's such a long time. So I joined Discraft for the 2019 season. I had a really good start to the season, and then unfortunately a few months in I got trigger finger, and it's basically just a damaged tendon that needed some surgery. I got the surgery, and I don't know, ever since then I think the main thing with that injury was I continued to play on it all the way up until I had surgery, and I got the surgery in the off season, but I think it mainly damaged me mentally, like my mental game, because I was slowly kind of slipping away from, it's difficult to explain, but I was at a certain level, and then the injury, I had to baby it. And so when you're playing and you can't really commit and throw as hard as you want to or follow through and certain things, your level of play kind of deteriorates because you're more focused on nursing an injury rather than focusing on the shot. And I think, I don't know, just having my play slowly go down and down and down over such a long period of time kind of took its toll on me mentally. And I'm all healed up now, but I've been slowly like rising back up to, you know, where I feel like I should be. And I feel like this is the first season where I'm clear of injuries and excuses. And I'm spending the off season in San Diego, and I have a personal trainer and a nutritionist, and it's sunny here every day, so I'm able to practice and do all the same things every day. So I'm really excited for next season and to see what all the little things that I'm doing now, how they'll pay off in a few months when the season starts.
Hey, Vanessa, Josh here. You mentioned San Diego. For those that don't know, what's your connection with San Diego? And what went into your decision to spend your off season there instead of in Michigan like you have in the last few years?
So I was born and raised in San Diego, and my family is out here. I do live in Michigan with my boyfriend Reed, but it's really difficult, as you know, to practice in the winter months out there. And since I only see my family once a year because I'm constantly traveling and I live like halfway across the country, um, it's really nice they invited me to stay. My family invited me to stay with them for the winter months so I can train. So that's why I'm here. And yeah, I'm really fortunate to have that.
Yeah, very nice. I'm a bit jealous of that weather. Talk about your training a little bit. What does a typical week look like for you, and what's your schedule like each day?
So Monday through Friday, I get up with the sunrise and I do all my field work. And then after my field work, from like 10:30 to 11:30, I have my session with my personal trainer. And then after that, I do like long hikes to kind of prepare for because when we play around, there's a lot of walking. And then in the evenings, I do yoga for like strength and mobility. So, and that takes up my whole day. So Monday through Friday, I'm doing that, and then Saturday and Sundays, I do private lessons at the local course, Kit Carson Park, and I have like basically sessions available starting at 8 a.m. and ending at 5:30 p.m. And for the last few weeks, they've been filled up, so I don't have any days off.
I heard you mention doing the lessons. What does a lesson entail? How much does it cost? What perks do they get out of it? I saw a very happy client of yours online, actually, who was pumped to get multiple discs out of the lesson, in addition, obviously, to learning a ton from you. Is that something you do every lesson?
So I have a bunch of fundraiser discs, which I'm supposed to be selling throughout the year, but I'm lazy after tournaments and I don't go to the players' party to sell them. I'm just kind of resting at the Airbnb. So I have like a few hundred discs right now. And I was trying to figure out ways I can move them. And I was like, I could do lessons and basically I'm selling discs and the lesson is free. So for an hour of field work, I charge $75 and you get 3 fundraiser discs with it, which I sell each fundraiser disc for 25 anyways. So the lesson is basically free. And then to play around with me, it's 150, but you get 6 tour series or 6 fundraiser discs. So it's the amount that people pay, it's equivalent to the value of the discs. So
That's awesome.
yeah, it's pretty cool. And I have like 6 different stamps and 9 different molds, and they're all swirly and pretty and bright colors. So I feel like it's a really good deal. And they get to hang out with me. I mean, come on.
And that's obviously the biggest perk of all, for sure.
Yeah.
What's your home course out there in San Diego? I know Morley Field has the highest attendance in the country, but is that your home base? And how does your home course play into your training and help you grow as a player?
So my home course right now is Kit Carson Park, where I do the lessons, and it's my favorite course in the world, which is strange to say because I play so many awesome and spectacular courses. But I love it because it's all pretty flat, and the first 5 holes are really open and long, and then I guess after hole 5, between 5 and like 15, there's some more grass and trees and stuff like that. So it's nice to start out with like big open shots where you don't have to be so accurate, and then you kind of like fine tune everything as you get to the middle and towards the end. And it's just a really easygoing course. And I feel like the reason why it's so good is because it's so fun to play. So I am really engaged and enthusiastic, and like I have a lot of fun when I play that course, as opposed to if the course were just super challenging, I would kind of dread going there every day and just go through the motions because I'm supposed to be practicing and not really, yeah, like, when you're grinding, you have to be enthusiastic and put in the hard work for it to be like really effective. And I feel like because it's so fun to play, that's why I'm able to do really well.
So, speaking of fun courses to play, is there a specific event on tour that you're most looking forward to this year? Is there a course that stands out for you?
Okay, I have to say Champions Cup, because my favorite course in the world at the moment is the W.R. Jackson in Appling, Georgia, at the International Disc Golf Center. It's amazing. Have you been there recently? No.
No.
Okay. It's very wooded, but the fairways are huge. So if you hit your line and you have a really good, like, powerful shot, you're going to have an opportunity for a birdie. But if you have an errant shot and you're off the fairway, sometimes bogey is the best possible score from there. So it's very fair. If you make a mistake, you're punished for it. But if you hit your line within reason, like, you don't have to hit it exactly, because the fairways are really big. So you can be a little bit off and still be rewarded. And I don't know. That's why it's really fun to play, because when you're playing well, you're rewarded.
For sure. That's always a good thing.
Yeah.
So transitioning into sponsor related stuff, what has your sponsorship journey been like up to this point? Obviously, you're coming off a deal with Discraft, so definitely mention that a little bit. But what was your sponsorship journey like before Discraft?
So after I won Am Worlds, Innova offered me a sponsorship, and I was with Innova for a very short time. They were awesome, great company. They gave me a really, really good deal for the level of player I was after that. I don't even think, or maybe I was like 904 rated, and they were really good to me. Anyways, after that, I kind of had to go to Prodigy. That lasted for about 4 years, and I left that for a fresh start. And at the time when I was looking at companies I wanted to go to, obviously, I mean, Innova is a great company, and I would definitely, or at the time, I was like definitely had a good, like, connection with them. But I wanted a fresh start, and at the time, Discraft didn't really have any strong female players. I think Valerie Jenkins had kind of retired the year before, and Haley King was on there, but she was still in high school, so she wasn't really touring full time. And I just saw it as a place that, well, kind of to backtrack a little bit, when I first started playing, I loved the Buzz and the Avenger SS and stuff like that. So I liked their discs, which is number one. Number two, I saw it as because there was no strong FPO player there yet. I saw it as a place that I can go to and grow with the company. I don't know, or as far as like opportunities go, I just, yeah, I wanted a fresh start. I liked their product, and I felt like they were exciting, and it was before like all the big, I think it was actually at the same time as when all the Pauls and everybody came over. But yeah.
So you've been with Innova, Prodigy, and Discraft, which now brings us obviously to the end of 22 and into 2023. Where will your sponsorship journey be headed for this coming season?
So when I went to Discraft in 2019, I'm weird when it comes to sponsors. I'm almost treat it like a relationship or something. Well, I mean, like a romantic relationship, obviously. So I wanted to choose a company that was going to be like my forever company. Like, I'm going to marry them and stay with them forever, no matter what. And I just decided on Discraft because I don't want to like bounce around from place to place, like just looking for better deals all the time. I feel like Discraft's a really good, solid, clean company, and if I perform really well, if I earn it, they will pay me. They will treat me well. And so I feel like I don't want to jump around everywhere. If rather, I want to change things with myself. So if I want more support or more things or whatever, I feel like, as far as I'm concerned, I just have to work harder and do better. And I'm not going to just jump around from place to place. I've decided on Discraft, and I'm going to stick with them. And if I want something to change, I have to do it with myself, improve it rather than, yeah.
Yeah, the commitment's awesome. Congrats on re-signing with Discraft. For those that don't follow your game closely, what are your go-to Discraft discs and discs that you can't live without?
So number one, the Meteor. It's a understable mid, really fast, like so much glide. Yeah, the Meteor. That's my bread and butter. But my favorite putter is the Roach. Favorite mid is Meteor. The Heat, actually, I just kind of recently fell in love with the Heat this last year. It almost goes as far as my distance drivers, has so much glide, and um, but doesn't have a lot of left to right movement. I mean, obviously, if it's beaten in, it'll flip, but it's a really nice understable fairway that I love. I love throwing on hyzer, so I just kind of naturally gravitate towards the flippy stuff. And then Hades is my favorite. Hades and Nuke, those are my two favorite distance drivers. But I could, if there wasn't any crazy wind, if I just had Hades, Nuke, Meteor, and Roach, that's about it. Oh yeah, and Heat. So 5.
Simple but effective for sure. Where, Vanessa, can people go to pick up your signature discs or to support you while you're out on tour?
To me. So I have all my fundraisers. If you want anything, you can just send me a DM on Facebook or Instagram, and we can, we can figure out what color, mold, whatever you want. I have so many discs.
Sounds easy enough. Before we let you go, Vanessa, where will we see you next? What's your next event, and what's your tour plan for 23?
So my next event for sure is Vegas. The 3rd week of February is the start of the tour. But I was kind of thinking I might play, there's an A tier happening in San Diego at Goat Hill. I think it's about a week or two before the tour starts. And I was thinking maybe I should play that just to kind of warm up, after not competing on in the big events for a few months. But other than that, yeah, my 100%, I'm starting at Vegas and doing the whole tour.
Very cool. Well, we're excited to watch that regardless of where you start. But we wish you the best of luck in 2023. We're excited to see you back at Discraft, and thanks for making your special and exclusive announcement with us here on Caddy Chat.
Yeah, thank you so much. Anytime. Hopefully we'll have to do this again after I win Worlds.
Oh, for sure. Thanks, Vanessa. That was Vanessa Van Dyken joining us via the Freshwood phone line. Really exciting to see her coming back to Discraft. The Meteor has been her bread and butter, and I
have one in my bag.
I know a lot of people around our area have one. So
did I hear that she's dating Reed?
Yeah, Reed Friskira. Sounds like a goofball.
Yeah, no, I like Reed. I like Reed a lot. But that was great. So she's staying with Discraft.
She's staying with Discraft.
She's loyal.
Yeah, she treats it like a relationship. Yeah. So nobody's angered anybody too much in that relationship apparently.
Not yet.
I thought in the middle there when she was talking about how she got there kind of before the big name pros came to Discraft, before Missy Gannon, before Paige Pierce.
Mm-hmm.
I thought that was kind of an insinuation that she was on her way out the door and maybe she was in San Diego for, the West Coast love that Innova was going to give her.
Yeah.
Being not too much farther north.
Yeah.
But not the case. She's sticking with her guns, and
all right.
She obviously loves the bag that she has too, the molds. So
that is huge.
So yeah, thanks again, Vanessa, for coming on the show and making your exclusive announcement with us. Other sponsorship news that just dropped today: Anthony Barella.
He's leaving Innova.
This week. He is leaving Innova. We don't know where he's going yet.
We'll try to get that exclusive.
Yeah, we'll talk to AB. We'll try and hook up.
Fingers crossed.
The announcement for next week. So stay tuned for that. We're only half kidding, by the way.
We'll try.
Yeah, we will try. So stay tuned for an announcement on that. If we get them, you will hear about it very quickly.
Sure.
But yeah, so let's transition over to our featured segment, Tourney Talk.
Okay.
And then we'll try and finish with the game. What are we doing?
So last week we talked about some sponsorship and we talked about ordering some discs, right?
Yep.
Was that the deal? So this week we're going to talk a little bit about player packs. We're going to talk about promotion and marketing. the importance of both of those things, and how do we go about doing it. So first off, you want to talk about player packs?
Yeah, so there's really a couple ways to go about player packs, but kind of the big thing that it's more of an amateur thing.
It is.
But the big thing, a lot of amateurs, especially lower level amateurs, your
First
amateur
year,
3,
second year, AM3s, yeah.
AM3, AM2 divisions for the most part, will be looking for, to get something out of the event just for showing up and playing.
Yeah.
Kind of like a commemorative piece, something to remember the event by. And the way I always thought about it when I was just starting was, hey, I'm paying $50 to play in this event. I get a $20 disc. Even if I stink this place up and I lay a complete egg and I have a horrible round and a horrible second round, at least I came away with a disc.
I'm going home with something.
Yep.
Yeah.
There's something to that for a lot of people.
Oh, for sure.
I remember that being in the back of my mind the whole time, and I know that's something that people think about now.
Mm-hmm.
It's the same mindset. So that's part of it. You wanna offer a player pack a lot of the time when you're running a tournament to appeal to the amateurs, which the amateurs drive this sport. So
what do you think is a good formula in that regard? Do you try to make the player pack 50% value of the buy-in, or are you looking for 33%? Is there a number that you have?
There's not really a number I have in mind. I think it's more based on, the scale of the tournament.
Okay.
Per se. Most of the events that I run here locally are, 1 day C tier at most sanctioned events. So they're not high scale by any means.
Yeah.
And at that point, I'm just trying to give someone a quality piece of plastic that they can take home and throw if they want or give away, but something that's higher quality. So I'm not trying to give out, a baseline disc that no one's ever going to throw. Because, when you give out certain molds, you're always going to appeal to some players and not to others.
Sure.
Some people are going to throw your disc. Some won't like it and they won't throw it, and that's fine. But you at least want to give them something of value. If you're giving them some baseline mold that no one's ever heard of and no one's going to throw, they can't really resell it either because nobody wants it.
Yeah.
So that factors into it a little bit, but I want to give people a premium disc at a lower level event, whether it's a league or a tournament. But as you move up the tier level, I think it's important to scale up your player packs just like you're scaling up your events. So, we talked about the West Coast Cup that we introduced last week, April 1 and 2. That's another plug for it. Please go sign up if you're in Michigan. We'd love to see you out there. But that one, we're going a little bit bigger. So we're adding, a custom towel to the player pack. So that, it improves with the scale of the event. And then you go as big as the Ledgestone Open every summer in Illinois.
Crazy.
Known for their player packs that they give out, bags, range finders, multiple discs. That's a huge jump up from just giving away one premium custom disc with a stamp on it. But that goes again with the scale of the event, and the amateurs want to feel like they pulled something out of the event, whether they play well or not.
Yeah.
So that's kind of where the player pack mindset comes from for me.
All right.
But you definitely want to offer something. And the flip side of that is trophy only events. And if you do that, that's fine. You're going to have a more competitive atmosphere most of the time, but you're also going to turn off a certain section of potential players because
again, those AM2, AM3 players, AM4 guys, they like getting a stack of discs.
Yeah. So they automatically know they're not going to get anything from the event unless they win.
Yep.
And that's a
they don't want a trophy.
Yeah, that's a tall order for a lot of people. So yeah, that's the other option, but I prefer to go the player pack route because I think it keeps more people involved and keeps more people happy, to be honest.
Mm-hmm.
So,
but you don't do trophies, right? I mean, you
I do
stats.
Trophies. I do trophies. Yeah, I do trophies. No, I do trophies for first place.
Along with
division.
discs, though, right?
Yep.
Okay, yeah, not trophy only.
Payouts, yeah. So player pack, disc payouts, and then and trophies as well. So
Okay.
I try and cover all my bases. But there are trophy-only events out there that do get run. I know, well, for example, the highest tier example would be the Nats at the Toboggan, USA DGC, trophy-only amateur event. You don't get paid in cash. You're not a pro. You get a really nice player pack, but you don't get paid out in payout stuff.
Not even a voucher, huh?
Nothing.
Just a trophy.
But you get a sick player pack most of the time. So
yeah,
there's that.
And I suppose that's a pretty good trophy.
Yeah.
That's a pretty good one to put on the wall.
Yeah. Add to your repertoire.
Yeah. I
All
don't have one.
So beyond that, do we want to go into promotion and marketing this week, or do we want to save that for next
Yeah,
next
why don't we
week?
save that for next week?
All right, next week, promotion and marketing. How to get your tournament up and running and get players at your event.
Yeah.
All right, so let's do a little game here, Josh.
Okay.
We're gonna play the logo game.
Okay.
And how this is gonna work is we're gonna toss something up on the screen. You guys at home can follow along just like Josh. I've put the game together. I know all the answers. Josh has no clue. He was not involved in the production at all.
I have no idea what's going on.
So he's just like you guys. Once that shows up on the screen, he's gonna have.
But I'm still gonna win.
We'll give him 15, 30 seconds to come up with an answer. But
Okay.
for our listeners who are not paying attention to the screen, let's try and talk them through what we're looking at if we can.
Okay.
To try and keep them involved if possible.
Okay.
And I will blow this up on the screen here. Josh, look away for a second.
Oh, okay.
All right, there we go. We're good. The logo game with Jake and Josh. We are live.
Can I look?
Yep, here's number
Okay.
one.
Oh.
So what are we looking at here, Josh?
VVD. That's Vanessa Van Dyken.
Pretty clear and obvious. I want to make it easy for you here.
I appreciate that.
There's 10 of them in total, so
I'm
we'll,
already feeling good about myself.
we'll add up your points.
Okay.
Nice and easy. Actually, a very nice looking logo.
I like it.
It's clean. It's simple, but it gets the message across. You can clearly see the VVD. All right, logo number 2. What are we looking at here?
iHand.
An iHand.
Yeah, iHand Productions. No, what is it? iHop.
So for those of
Chick-fil-A.
you that are
I have a
listening,
bag.
we've got a hand, thumb, 4 fingers, with a palm out,
Oh, yeah.
and a fat bold letter I in the middle of it.
Yeah.
iHand Productions. That's your guess?
Hand-eye.
Hand Eye Productions.
Yeah, or something. I know I've seen it before. What is it?
It's Hand Eye. Good stuff.
Hand-eye.
Pretty self-explanatory, but
Why'd you make me feel stupid?
they sponsor a lot of disc golf content and events. So
Okay. My confidence is dropping.
that's good. So do we give you that point?
I think so. I got it.
I think so. All right. 2 for 2. 2 points for Josh right now. Logo number 3. We've got some script lettering.
I've never seen this one.
It's curly.
Yep.
Almost
it
looks
it
like a
could be
big
a B or a 3.
a big number 3. It could be a big number 3.
3 with a tail, a Y3 arrow thing. I don't know. My gut when I first saw it, I thought Anthony Barella.
Okay. And
But now I think maybe Barsby. No, it's not.
so Josh is up in the air on this one.
No, I don't know. I do not know.
Maybe you guys at home got it, but the answer is Ben Calloway.
Oh, I see the C.
The C is at the bottom half there, and the B is the whole thing. So
Does his family own Callaway Golf?
they do not.
Okay. He's from Iowa, right?
Yeah, fair question though.
Thanks.
Yeah, I actually really enjoy this logo.
I do
think
too now
it's
that I know what it is.
fantastic, and I would
very
rep
creative.
it. And Ben is a really cool dude. So,
Good to know.
all right, logo number 4. Josh has 2 points right now.
Yeah.
What are we looking at?
It looks like some sort of a missile or torpedo or bomb. It looks like the Saki bomb.
That your guess?
Yeah.
That would be correct.
Good. That's a very weird version of it.
It's the middle of the Saki bomb. So in general, it says
So
Saki
he
on
showed
the
me
left.
a part of a logo.
No. This is the Saki bomb.
That's the Saki bomb, but that's
But
not the full logo.
When you see it on Ricky's shirt, it'll say Saki on the left and bomb on the right.
Right, because that's the logo.
Oh, my goodness. Josh is a little upset here.
No.
All right, 3 for 4. You got it. I'm proud of you.
Pointing out.
Logo number 5. What are we looking at?
It looks like it's probably supposed to be mountains, but it kind of looks like a interesting perspective of 2 loaves of bread.
Sliced bread.
Oh yeah, I think so.
Sliced bread productions.
Yeah. No, is that Gatekeeper?
Are you gonna lock in
That's
your
my
guess?
guess. Gatekeeper. No, Gatekeeper has gates on their logo.
I think you should stick with Sliced Bread Productions.
I like that one. It's a new business idea for me. I feel like it's a video production company. I feel like I've seen it before, but I'm not 100% sure who it is. How about GK Pro?
All right, he's gonna lock in his guess at GK Pro. Hopefully, you guys at home locked it in 30 minutes ago, maybe. No, I'm just kidding. It is not GK Pro. It is Upper Park. Upper Park Designs.
Golf.
Making backpacks and making good ones.
I've seen them.
All right, next logo.
Calvin Heimberg.
You were quick on that one. You can't really see the Calvin Heimberg, but if you know Calvin Heimberg, he reps this all the time.
Yeah.
It's actually a cool looking logo.
You can see the C and you can see the H.
If you know what you're looking for, yes.
If you know what you're looking for.
If you don't know what you're looking for, it kind of looks like a bomb. Or
so.
a weird, like a little, right in the top right there, you see the thread to light the bomb. Looks like it's burning-ish.
Okay.
I don't know. That's the first thought I had when I saw it, but
interesting.
Yeah, Calvin Heimberg, cool looking design, honestly. Hopefully you guys got that one. All right, next logo.
I've seen this one before too.
Popular.
Super clever.
Again, very cool design.
Yeah.
What are we looking at for the
so
people
there's
listening?
A bear. I'm pretty sure it's the outline of a bear.
Big grizzly bear.
Is it a grizzly? I thought it was a brown bear.
Sure. It's a big, thick bear
It's a big
on all
bear.
fours.
And then there's a heart perfectly centered on the bear.
Right in the middle.
I feel like there's letters I should be seeing or some sort of a... hold on. There's a guy. Brian Earhart.
Brian Earhart. You're going to lock in with Brian
Yes.
Earhart. Beautiful. That's the Bear Heart logo for Brian Earhart. Good
Yes.
stuff, Josh.
Thank you.
Next logo.
Grip 6.
You were quick on that one. This one's very clean
And also clever.
and clever
Again, a very clear G, a very clear 6.
and crispy.
All
and
with one stroke.
they are in the belt design business, and this looks just like a belt buckle. That's
I just
round.
saw them release something else too.
They do wallets.
Yeah, but something new. They just got into a whole new market. I'll look it up later.
All right.
Maybe we'll talk about it
We'll
next
talk
week.
about it next week. Grip 6 been really good to our club, sponsoring the Ace Bounty Hole 16 at Leprechaun Hollows every year.
Yes.
We very much appreciate them. They've made us some really cool custom design belts. So
I've never aced that hole.
you really?
Correct.
I thought you did.
16?
I thought you won a belt once.
No.
Oh, all right.
I've aced other holes at Leprechaun.
It's coming. Yeah, you are the Ace record holder.
I am the ace record holder.
Josh Wood, Ace record holder at Leprechaun Hollows. All right, next logo.
That's on my resume. So 3 things pop into my head. I mean, it's a whale. It looks like a whale, and there's some waves.
It's clearly the whale jumping out of the
So
water.
the
or
first
something
thing
like
that pops into my head is Whale Pants, which
Okay.
is Eric Oakley's YouTube channel, right?
Yep.
But then there's also Whale Sacks.
Yep. Both related to Eric Oakley.
Yeah. So I definitely believe that this logo is in his sphere of influence.
It's in the Oakley sphere. I think that's good deductive
Whether or
reasoning.
not that's his logo or the logo for his YouTube channel or the logo for Whale Sacks.
For his wife's whale sacks company.
I'm not sure. I'll go with Whale Sacks.
All right. Whale sex is correct. Good stuff, Josh.
Thanks.
And our final logo.
I've seen that one before too. Why can't I think of it though?
It's kind of rectangular up and down. We got what looks like
on the top.
Crown.
Looks like there's a G.
Some sort of lettering in there underneath the crown. Yeah, I would. Yeah, definitely looks like a G.
And then, is that a B? Is that Gannon Burr? I'm going to go with Gannon Burr.
Josh is locking in Gannon Burr. The answer is Drew Gibson.
Drew Gibson. I had the initials backwards.
You did.
Shoot.
It's all right.
That's a nice logo. It's clean.
Yeah, it is clean. I like it. It's clever. A little boxy, but
yeah,
it's good.
The D should be bigger than the
G. Yeah,
G.
but it's good. No, I like it too.
It's kind of backwards. Call me Drew.
You can take that
I'll
up with Drew Gibson.
It.
All right, so that wraps up the logo game. That's 10,
okay, that was fun.
10 logos for you. Maybe we'll...
What did I get?
I don't know. You tell me. 7?
I think so.
7 out of 10. Hopefully you guys at home beat him. Let us know in the comments which ones you got wrong, which ones you got right, and how many out of 10 you got. Did you beat Josh? If you did, make sure you let him know.
Yeah, please let me know.
And let him know why it's unacceptable that he didn't know Drew Gibson's
or
logo.
Encourage me and tell me how great it was that I
right.
got some of them right.
How did he know the Bear Heart logo?
Yeah.
How is anyone supposed to know what that is? And guessing Vanessa Van Dyken's logo was very impressive.
Thank you. Thanks. I've actually never seen her logo before. I've seen VVD written on a lot of Reed's discs, but I've never actually seen it in logo form. Because one of the things, like, it might have been on the Meteor that I have in my bag, but I wiped the stamp and put a smiley on it because that's what I do.
So Vanessa, he doesn't like your logo. He'd
That's
prefer to see a smiley face. But thanks for coming on the show.
I always prefer to see a smiling face. Yeah, and don't take it personally. I wipe all my discs.
But you didn't wipe the Leprechaun Hollows compass we were throwing?
Because it's not in my bag.
All right, fair enough. That's an even worse insult. All right, so next episode, we've got Tourney Talk.
Yeah. Yep.
Number 7, and we're talking about promotion and marketing stuff. What else we got?
We'll talk about the rule of the month. You'll have to stay tuned to figure out what that is. And then we're going to talk about some mystery box stuff. We're going to talk about some winter golf tips. Although winter is well upon us already, and we've already been using these tips, we thought it might be helpful to discuss some different ways that people play disc golf in the snow. And then just how that can also affect the flights, whether it's an altitude issue like we've seen when they go to Colorado and some other places, or if it's temperature related as well. And
you do good work helping run the winter league out at Windstrom here in Holland. So we'll be able to bring your knowledge from that into the winter golf segment as well.
And if you want some first-hand knowledge, come out Saturday to Windstrom and play Winter Winnie with us.
We'd love to see you. Well, Josh would love to see you.
We like to play in the snow together.
I don't like to play in the snow, so I will not be there. But Josh will. That wraps up episode 6? Episode 6 of Caddy Chat with Jake and Josh. Thanks for joining us. We will see you next week.
Yeah. Like, share, subscribe, comment, interact with us down there. And we'll see you next time. Until then, keep your head in the game.